One of the things that's difficult about being a family lawyer or a divorce lawyer is that when you try to promote your business, it feels like you're trying to promote divorce. And so let me tell you how I've gotten through that, because the last thing in the world I wanted to do in my life was encourage people to get divorced. But one of the things I learned is that you're not going to stop people from getting divorced. It's just the way our culture is. It wasn't that way 30 or 40 years ago, but it is now. Ask one of your kids a question that would be different for your child than somebody else's child that's divorced. And they're like, oh, well, his parents are divorced, so he gets to X, Y, or Z. One of the things I hear about most is that my grandchildren, whose parents are not divorced, they don't have a cell phone, but their friends whose parents are divorced have a cell phone, and they know that. So you can't hide divorce from children. That's just not going to happen. There's too much of it in the world. But what you can do is look at how is the best way to make it happen if you've made that decision. And that's what I decided when I took up the mantle of family law. And that is, my job wasn't to convince somebody to get divorced. It wasn't to be a marriage counselor and help them learn how to get along. My job was to help them get through the process in the best way possible for them going forward and for their children. I long since discovered that it isn't divorce that hurts the children. It's how people get divorced that hurts the children. And that's a good reason to mediate instead of hire lawyers. And I'm not saying this to put down my profession. It's a lawyer's job to fight. That's what we're hired to do. We're hired to go in there and fight for whatever our client wants or fight for whatever the law will allow. But it's the fighting itself that hurts the children and hurts the people that are getting divorced. I had the fortune of being able to talk to judges once in a while about, what made them make certain decisions and what they thought was really important when couples are divorcing. And I remember one of them, this is a very long time ago, but one of them said to me that what the parents are fighting about is not nearly as harmful for the children as the fight itself. So I've always seen my role as, how do I help couples get through the divorce process with as little fighting as possible, with as few hearings as possible? Now, some people would probably tell you they can't believe that about me, because I've been a real fighter throughout my career. But that's one of the reasons I decided to become a mediator and use what I'd learned as a mediator and not as a lawyer. As a mediator, I get to stay focused on what is best for the new family. When you get divorced, you don't stop becoming a family. You don't stop being the parents of those children, or the couples that get invited places, or the friends that can't be your friends anymore because they're siding with one side or the other. I get to help people stay friends and stay as compatible and amicable as possible in a way that you cannot do it in litigation. One way to think about mediation and litigation when you're comparing the two is that mediation is a way to help you learn how to reach agreements together. Litigation is a way for you to see which one is the better fighter. Being a fighter, is that really what's best for your children? I'll tell you one other thing I've learned. Believe me, I've been in the courtroom fighting a lot in my career. I've been in family law for over 30 years now. I know what a fight looks like, and I know how to fight, I assure you. But that's not what you want. That's not what you need. What you need is someone that'll help you through the process that doesn't turn into a battle and doesn't end up in the courtroom. You get to make all the decisions in mediation. A judge makes all the decisions in the courtroom. If you want to find out what's best for you, then give us a call at Divorce Mediation Centers. We don't charge for our consultations. You can come in and sit down and talk with one of our mediators, and we'll ask you the questions that you would be asking of yourself when deciding whether to hire a lawyer or to hire a mediator. That is what we are there for, to help you through the process.